I also have a
Mackenzie,
slideshow.
did you get your flash drive back? Did you
I
pick it
just
up?
sent it to my
I
email.
might have to put this on Twitter.
I had opened it up on there.
We may want to close the door. Mine has like video.
Oh, okay.
I'm so white this morning. I had to say that.
I'd like to talk about. sorry.
Oh.
So, I'd like to talk about the history and evolution of Batman. Batman's been a cultural icon ever since its creation in 1939. But over the years, there have been many variations from the more lighthearted and campy art style and story direction to the much darker, serious tone of what we see today. So, what we're going to talk about is how we got from this, if it works. I believe in you. Come on.
It works slowly.
Come on. You do it.
Just a suspense.
Hey,
Just suspense.
just let it go slow. I think I can.
Batman, make it work.
Do you have a battery?
That's not feeling it. Well, basically, it's a line from Jack Nicholson's Joker, asking what kind of a town we live in where a man dressed as a giant bat gets all my press.
Do you like this lighting better or is
Yeah,
it too dark?
this is better.
Yeah, okay.
And then we go to Heath Ledger's more infamous Joker.
Oh my god, I love this part.
This part's gonna work, it looks like, kind of.
You could probably pause it and let it load.
Yeah, talk as you're letting it load.
Its audio's way ahead of the video. He stabs a dude through the eye with the pencil. That's the gist of it.
Schwabam!
It's pretty cool. Basically, to answer how we got from that to that, we have to go back to the beginning. 1939 comic books. As you can see, when Batman first started out, it wasn't nearly as, dark and serious as what we see today. It was more light and colorful and oftentimes even more comedy-filled. Then in 1966, we got our first filmed Batman, which was the animated television show with Adam West. This was the first non-comic book form of Batman, and it was colorful and camp as its source material. It was always going to be remembered as the first film Batman, and it's pretty great. You should definitely check it out.
Great.
1989 to 1992, we saw Michael Keaton, the first Batman ever on the silver screen, and definitely the best in my opinion. It was definitely darker in style and story than the television show that it was based on, but it did keep a lot of its comedy and camp elements from the television show. Rest in peace, Michael Keaton. Where did I go here? 1995, Val Kilmer, and what I refer to as the beginning of the end. Batman Forever, along with a new director, because the first two were directed by Tim Burton, the second two were directed by Joel Schumacher, tried to do this kind of weird really weird combination of having it extremely dark, but still very colorful, and it didn't work out so well. Other than extremely memorable and excellent performances from Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones, a lot of fans don't fondly remember this, but trust me, it can get worse. 1997, sadly, we have George Clooney.
George Clooney was okay.
This abomination did happen, and if you have seen it, I personally apologize. If you haven't, don't. It definitely, it took everything that was weird about the third movie and emphasized it, spiraling it into some weird thing. Let's just not talk about that anymore. So, 8 years pass. Because of how poorly the fourth film did, a lot because of George Clooney, and the abomination that was Batman and Robin, it would be 8 years before Batman would return to the screen. Then in 2005, Christian Bale and the Dark Knight trilogy happened. Thank God. Everything that was cool about Batman came back in the form of a trilogy. of Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Took a very thick shift to darker, more serious tones, which was definitely appreciated by the fans, who very much enjoyed it based on its box office success. This paradigm shift to a darker style remains today. In 2009, Arkham Asylum came out. This game showed that the paradigm shift to the darker style wasn't limited only to film. This was the first really good Batman game that actually made a lot of critical success, and it set the standard for superhero games to come with its dark turns and excellent character portrayals. Then in 2010, DC Universe rebooted. This spread even hit the comics after the New 52 reboot, causing some of the best storytelling in comics for the past 50 years, such as Activate Prop Mode. The Death of the Family, in which the Joker fakes his own death by cutting off his own face, and then returns to Gotham City and steals his face back and continues to wear his dead face for the rest of the series.
Really cool.
And The Court of Owls, which was a storyline about a secret society that had been controlling Gotham for hundreds of years, hidden behind porcelain masks to mask their true identities. Even all the characters got changes. This is a statue of Harley Quinn standing on her old costume, which was just a simple clown outfit. Now it's filled with more guns and knives and more violent because New 52 definitely reflected the changes.
It happens.
So, 2016, we look forward to Ben Affleck becoming Batman in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. We have no idea how it's going to be yet. The movie's not out yet, so we have no way to know. Personally, I'm hopeful. I think he's going to do fine. We just got to watch and wait. So now we got to answer how we got here. What it comes down to is these 3 points. The changes in what are acceptable in current media. With what changed in what was acceptable, allowed directors and television writers to push the envelope on what people would see in the Batman universe. Changes in tastes. People have changed what they like since then. A lot to do with changes in what is acceptable also. People have changed what they like to see. And with people changing what they like to see, story writers need to keep up. Changes in the comic books equal changes in the other media. With Batman getting darker and darker in the comic books, the other media had to keep up to match its source material. So in conclusion, Batman has cemented himself in our culture. It was a long-fought road, but Batman doesn't have to run anymore. And it was going to be an awesome slide, but now it's not going to make any sense. Oh, no, this one's going to work.
Oh, good.
Because we have to chase him.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Because he's the hero Gotham deserves. We're not the right needs right now. So we'll hunt him. Because he can take it. Because he's not our hero. He's a silent guardian. A watchful protector. A dark knight.
Thank you.
Can you show us your statue in your
Oh,
mask
yes.
with
Sure.
the lights on so we can see him?
Sure.
Beautiful job.
This is just a Batman mask, nothing special about this one. This one is, it's supposed to be an owl. It's a blank porcelain mask, though. It's not actually porcelain, but it's supposed to be porcelain. It's just, this is the beak, and that's about it. It's just to conceal identity. This one is, I'll even put it on actually.
Should use a steak.
This was my Halloween costume.
Oh, please. Love that hair. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh my
the strap
gosh.
doesn't want to stay on there.
that's
now, but-
okay. That's
There we
okay.
go, I
Oh,
got
that
it.
is snug.
This is actually just like he cut his face off and then came back and stole it back and just strapped it on.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, Cody, you did a beautiful job, and one thing that I really admire about you is you use very interesting vocabulary.
I try.
Not just in your presentation, but in your daily life.
I do my best.
Yeah, he uses nice, different vocabulary.
We can't take you as
Spices
serious
it
as
up.
the master.
And you were 8 minutes and 18 seconds.
Oh, that was way longer than I
Yeah,
wanted.
well,
I have
that's
a
fine,
comment, though.
that's fine.
Oh, comments, I'm
Nice job. And did you
Ben
get
Affleck can't
your,
be Batman. He's already a superhero.
So was Captain
He was
America,
blind. He doesn't
Exactly. I
remember.
didn't think that.
but he wasn't a good superhero.